All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Skip Beat,
episode 7. I am so ready for this.
Oh, me too.
What I mean is that even if you're in show business, I'll put you someplace the sun doesn't shine. Wow. Okay.
Like, oh, should I just not beat a horse when they're down?
Yeah.
Oh, what you're saying is I should not do. Oh, shit.
You're all right.
Okay, yeah. See,
you like the shade?
Yeah,
well, I'll throw some shade.
Add some more onto that. I'm okay, but that was really funny. I was clearly, venting something out there. Yes, channeling a bit too hard.
Right.
Just a little bit.
But in all seriousness, though, girl, you got a tea ceremony ahead of you. It's a long take, and
it is. That's true.
Your foot is really not doing well, or more specifically, your ankle. So. If you're gonna do this, that's great. But then, stat as soon as they call cut,
right?
You're like, they'll get me to a hospital, please. But
yeah. But still, that footage is gonna be out there. That footage might go beyond the Love Me section.
That might be what they use for the movie, and if that's the case, then you're actually just in show business at that point. You don't really need the Love Me section.
True.
But, the Love Me section could then be all right, she's the one we send in when, a job needs to be
But
done.
this could also create a controversy where they'll have to credit it as, the actual,
who knows?
actress.
Right.
But then the people on set could be like, do you want to hear a funny rumor? Mm-hmm. And it starts this story.
Right.
That,
She's,
rumbles
if you know,
underneath
you
the
know.
surface of,
Yeah.
Actually, she didn't do all of her scenes in this.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Or maybe, way later on the DVD, what have you, the bonus material hidden somewhere in there is actually, there was actually a part where we were dealing with the actress being kind of difficult.
At the very least, the director's just all right, cool. Get her instead for the next, project or whatever,
just
right?
Next time you want to cast someone like her, you'd be like, actually, who was that other girl?
She's a great worker.
Really good.
I liked working with her.
I did,
Fantastic. Yeah.
But all right, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Oh, nothing so, kind as that. Oh, your words, not mine. Oh, you think that's doable? You think that's possible?
Right.
Thank you for believing in me.
Yeah, exactly.
You just gave me spiral energy, know? Princess Coup d'etat. The guy back there just yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, and if she starts breaking out in a sweat, that's also a problem. Or it could be a problem. This is war.
Yeah.
The customer is king, after all. Channel your inner Majima. Yes. Fantastic.
Yes. Trauma from the mother. I channeled me.
Quiet on set.
Damn. He's like, I don't know if I'm attracted or I hate it.
Yeah.
Oh, perfection. Inside, she's just like, ah! Ah!
京子ちゃんがやってた習い事ってルリ子ちゃんも様にはなってたけどこっちは板について
At home. Yeah. All my training has prepared me for this moment.
Indeed. He walked straight into hell.
今朝鈴なり岬に行ってみましたよ。風が鈴の音に聞こえるんですね。
It's a long scene, so you're gonna need to.
そうみたいですね。
行ったことないんです。
Wait, what's he doing?
しまった。ここは寂しそうに微笑みながら静かに言うセリフ。
Is he trying to like?
一度も
Right.
珍しいですね。この土地に住んでいて。
Because she's still not an actress.
Right.
理由でも
Yeah, and he probably still doesn't like that he's performing opposite her, especially
Well,
if the footage
he's
gets
also-
used.
Yeah. He's also trying to draw out her emotion. Yeah.
Right.
So he's requiring a lot of her, but
But he's also, if she's not sticking to the script exactly, he's then going to give her something. Yeah.
right. This is his charisma on display.
それってもしかしてあの子を選んだの？雰囲気が急に変わった。この威圧感。もしや喧嘩を裏。
A little bit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
持ち直した。レンに歯向かう気か。
Okay, she knows the lines. She's taking advantage of the
あの
pause.
岬へは近づくなと幼少の頃から。
鈴の音誘われるとか。
騙された。
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
台本通りのセリフだったのに。
よし、いい顔だ。
あのくらいのお芝居。
それはどうかな。今のあの子の演技は。
Yeah. Like this is
Right.
him like
レンが
Trying
あの子
to-
に本気で向き合ってるからこそ出た表情なんだよ。
Yeah, if anything, this is showing how ridiculously good Ren is.
鶴賀さんは本気になってくれるんですか？
Because he's really helping guide her through it.
あの子のプロ根性だ。
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's like, hey, you're taking it this seriously?
誇りと言ってもいい。
Yeah. Then I want to see you succeed.
and
Oh,
that
and this-
sweat is from the pain in addition to the actual like
今の
intensity
あなた
here.
の様子
Right.
からすると何かご存知のようですね。
Yeah, if anything, that might add something extra fun to the scene.
頑張るんやで、京子ちゃん。お客様がお席を立つまでの辛抱や。
もう少し。
僕に
Oh god, this is a long scene.
Uh-huh,
Tell
yeah.
me the story.
ストップ。そこまででいいから。もうやめなさい。
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh shoot. She was
Yeah.
like she
Yeah.
was in agony.
Yep.
Yeah. He could tell she's no longer acting. Yeah. She's blacking out from the pain.
まだ終われません。ここを離れません。もう少しやらせてください。
熱があるんだから。
Whoa, it's bringing back her own passion and reminder of what happened when
Yeah.
people tried to tell her that was all you could do.
いつの間にか、あの頃の気持ち忘れ。
Right.
Whoa.
お客様が席を外されない以上、席を外すことは
Damn.
許されません。
Wait. Ren moved intentionally so that
Oh, shit.
she would be able to separate it.
Damn.
What a guy.
Okay.
Obviously, it makes sense for us,
Right.
but for characters in the scene to be able to like listen actively and understand what that meant.
Yeah.
レンがセットを降りた
Yep.
途端、役が抜け落ちたみたいだった。世に武勇伝を残す名優。
Oh my gosh. Wait. Oh damn. Maybe we weren't kidding. Rumors are gonna spread.
Yeah.
お話があります。もう一度やらせてください。
This is the most humility we've ever seen from her. Ever.
その言葉が聞きたかった。その代わり俺は妥協しないぞ。気に入らなければ何度でもやり直させる。
望むところです。
All right.
Cool. So they won't use any of her stuff probably. It's just
Yeah, but as far as your job in the Love Me section, you passed with flying colors.
flying
Kyoko.
colors.
あなたがルリのせいで骨折してるなんて。
骨折なんて大げさな。
ただ骨のひびが遠慮なく。
自分が気を失って病院に担ぎ込まれてるうちにしょうがないですよ。もともとあの子を使う気はなかったと思うから。
He could have flirted with the idea, but it just helped made Ruri, you know,
オタクの
perform
社長
better.
に頼まれたんだぞ。ルリをよろしくって。
Right.
いくら俺でも勝手に配役を変えるなんて命。
And contracts
つまり
also.
京子ちゃんは当て馬。あの子と役を競わせることでルリも少しは変わるんじゃないかと思ったんだ。思わぬ収穫
A
を得た。
lot more.
That's a bit more than 10.
Begrudgingly, I thank you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
私が頑張ったのはのりこちゃんから役を奪い取ろうとしただけ。ご褒美くれる
I love her faces in these like
They're so good.
moments.
入ったのかしら。
ちょっと言いたいことがあるんだよ。
She's looking at us, the
Yeah.
audience, just like,
あんたがいない間にしっかり監督にアピールして。
私が負けたのは当然のことだと思うわ。私お茶碗を落としたあたりから何も覚えてないもの。
yeah, she basically blacked out, yeah.
生き残る資格なんてないわ。
Whoa, that's kind of badass.
激しく同感。
Yeah.
あんた
You're kind of, you know, awesome, in my opinion. You know, just a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
もう失礼しちゃう。ルリ
I love
Just
it.
speechless.
It's like, wait, I don't entirely hate you anymore either.
Right.
But I give you the serious stare.
And he looks at you with a serious look. Like that's the serious look, but it's not a frown, you know? Or a
よ
scowl.
かった。
Aw.
気に入ってもらえて。
こんなハイテクメイク
Ah,
今度
ah,
いつできるかわからない
Yes.
から。
Yes, yes, yes.
今回の件は本当に残念だったと思う。役はルリに落ち着いてしまった。
But you did show some skill.
君がルリに劣っていたとは思わない。むしろ演技は君の方が。
私はルリコちゃんに負けてよかったと思ってます。確かに台本通りの反応をしました。鶴賀さんの演技に不意をつかれ、本気で
Yes.
驚いただけ。
It was reflexive,
もし
not
私が役を
so much my own.
あのまま撮影
Yeah.
を続けてたとしても、
It would have shown eventually.
Yep.
まる自分にムカつくだけだったと思
Yep.
うんです。
Right.
Yeah.
君だけじゃないよ。あいつは相手が恋人役だったら本気で自分に惚れさせ
Damn.
本気で相手をビビらせる。レンと共演する人間の演技はいい。
Right, right.
私にしてみればあれはそうです。そうです
Yeah, 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 yeah.
別の人に操られたのに過ぎないんです。たまらなく悔しい。
Right. Right. Oppressive, yeah.
私の演技が褒められたとしても、それは私の力じゃありません。
That's only
演技を
mostly
させ
true.
てもらえなかったんです。
Yeah, he dominated the space in that regard.
Right.
レン、
In some ways, he was being
Totally.
unprofessional.
頼みたいことがあるんだが。
Oh my god, wait. Wait. Wait.
すみません。わざわざお部屋まで送ってくださるなんて、シロさんって。
I love it.
No thanks for Ren, yeah.
Uh-huh.
京子ちゃんって茶道はいつからやっ
なぜ空気がますます重く。
サード
Oh,
あれはそう
yes.
私が中
That.
京子ちゃん
When the brainwashing began.
あの旅館でお客にお茶を立てて出せるのも。ってことは、翔太郎の花嫁修行をさせられる。
Oh.
どうしたの
She finally clued in.
唯一自信があった
Oh.
Yeah.
翔太郎の
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be more along the lines of her trying to shape her into the kind of person. But, oh, that's even worse.
Yeah.
今回だけじゃない。私、空っぽの人間だ。
Girl, no, you're not.
だけど、今日初めて思ったことがある。上手くなりたい。いつかこの人と対等にやり合える演技力を身につけたい。
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look up. Yeah.
やってみよう。いつかまたこの人と向かい合えた時、私の演技が私の力で出せるように。これからは私が私を作っていこう。
思わぬ収穫だった。高度な演技力を身につけた日にゃ、俺は惚れるね。
Cool.
メイクはちゃんと落とさないとお肌が荒れるわよ。
I don't wanna. I don't wanna.
崩れてこそげて
No, no, no.
までいます。
The boys in the back like,
負けるぞ。あいつに。
take it off me now.
Yeah.
私にかけられた1日限りの魔法をこうして解けてしまった。
And that's the stroke of midnight.
ゆうべはどうもありがとうございました。
歩けるようになってよかったね。ゆうべは廊下で動けなくなっちゃっただろ。
あれはちょっと佐藤の話で憎き男のこと。
It fuels me.
憎き男あいつのことか。あいつへの復讐のために頑張ったようなもんなんだ。今回の根性全
The
開
camera has to pan up.
Yeah.
もちろんです。
そう
Brutal.
What a petty bitch!
Yeah.
I love it.
何したっていうのよ。
You weren't very
てっきり京子ちゃんのこと
kawaii, you know, with that, you know.
本気で相手したろ。芝居。
根性は気に入りましたよ。しかし根性は気に入っても動機が気に入らない。
Just
Which inadvertently just fuels her even more.
catching men that she just can't stand to channel her. She's a warlock of men hating, where it's like, these aren't men, they're scum. I will destroy them with my incredible talent. I invoke their names to do my dark magics. It's like, hell yeah, you go. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, the show is over. We got a confirmation that, yes, while your acting was great, Kyoko, you were basically just a tool to make sure that Ruri would turn in a good performance, but also be set back on a better path as an actress.
Right. You did not actually get the part. That was never going to happen.
Never gonna happen.
That would have been, like, I like that they acknowledged, even if it was after the fact, you know, away from, you know, the ears that would matter to hear, you know, where it's like, yeah, no, that there would be so many complications.
Yeah,
if
we're not stupid. We
changing the lead in the middle of production, like,
No.
that's a problem.
we are also in the acting and, you know, industry and stuff as well. We acted and it worked really well. We were very
Right.
convincing in that regard.
Yeah, the whole problem was, you know, we were being set back, you know, by a few days of production. Changing a whole lead would be a bit more than a few days of production.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the point that she didn't change really Ren's view of her in too strong of a way.
No.
Maybe a little bit. But Ruri really saw the value there because she was then able to remember what it was like to have those feelings regarding acting.
Yeah, that gumption and fire where you're like, I want to do good work.
Being hungry, yeah. And I think that there's something to that. Obviously, have healthy boundaries. Don't work while your leg is broken, basically.
Yeah,
Or have a hairline fracture or whatever. But there's something to be said for that fire and hunger and passion that pushes you to do things with courage and not just do things when they're easy.
And to have that bit of, like, you know, self-critical, like, was that the best I could do?
Yeah.
You know, could I do better? Like, yeah, let's give it another go.
2 episodes ago, she was a nightmare. Like the amount of change that we've seen in such a short amount of time really is a testament to the way that this show has portrayed Kyoko, but also I would say the ways in which she also has a lot to reflect on and to kind of look inwards. So we're ready for a character who's shown to be so extreme in this angle to kind of be introduced to the concept through Kyoko.
Right.
It's a very fun little pattern to establish here. But also we saw Kyoko doing some reflecting in a, wait, I remember a time when someone did this exact same thing to me that Ren was doing, of bringing me into this oppressive atmosphere and being like, take it in.
Yeah.
This is yours now. You must respond this way. And I took it in a way that I don't think they were implying exactly. But I like what they did with it even more of, oh, right, while she was staying with Sho's family and working with them,
They were
in
very
their place.
much trying to get her to be set up to, you know, get married to Sho and take over the hotel
And
yeah.
and if you think about it,
That's pretty messed up.
that's really messed up.
Yeah, like that's
Like,
yeah.
like that's, I don't want to use the grooming word, but it's kind
Oh,
of
no, yeah.
it's kind of that.
Oh, no, you can I think that word totally works. It's just, non-sexual, right? Like it's just a different kind. And the fact that it's specifically when she's so young, right? Like some of the times that we saw her, at the whole thing of, oh, you're 12, let's start having you take like lessons in like,
tea ceremony.
Real tea ceremonies and stuff. On the surface, nothing else to it, right?
Right.
Sure, that's great, and they probably paid for the lesson or whatever, and all,
whatever,
helped teach her because they knew how to do it and stuff. And it's like, great, tea ceremonies are dope, right?
Yeah.
But,
when you start to see a consistent pattern and you realize up until like that point, it had been going on a bit before that.
Right. In ways beyond just you working 3 jobs to pay for shows, rent, and everything.
Yeah, because that's entirely disconnected.
No, right. But in ways besides that and before that, your life was effectively entirely swallowed up by him, right? And it wasn't always in ways that were decided by you. And that's gotta really suck, because now you realize, you get away from this relationship, right? And you're like, what do I actually have on my own? I haven't really had time to think about myself or focus on myself. And so now I feel like I'm just a nobody.
Yeah, I just feel like they brought this up in a way that is worth exploring beyond the way that they did it here in this episode. When you have somebody that from a young age is basically molded by adults to be a certain way, and then they realize that the intentions behind it had really nothing to do with her or what her well-being or what have you.
Right.
Like it was for somebody else's benefit. The idea that you can then extrapolate from that one of the things that she did when she was in the toxic, unhealthy, boundaryless relationship with Sho was she lived for him. So even if the point of, I was able to use these literal, physical, mechanical skills at this point now, that makes me go, oh, interesting. Those came from that place. The motivation for why those things were given also bled through into, now I want to live for other people's, not even just other people's, for a specific person's benefit, is way grosser, in my opinion, than the we taught you things that would make you a good wife for our son kind of thing.
Sure.
It's we're going to make you believe the reason why you need these things is only in so much as you can make their life better. Not in the ways that this would naturally just give you, this is a nice thing for you to know. Like a tea ceremony thing is, it's good info. It teaches you good like balance, poise, and the ability to have like very measured and controlled movements.
If you end up working in service in general, this is something that's going to be really good to know. It'll look great on like a resume to some classy establishment or something.
Right, but it wasn't that at all. It didn't boost her confidence at all. In fact, if anything, it's so insidious that I wonder what we're not seeing.
Yeah,
because that's why I thought that it was going to be headed towards like almost like a brainwashing, like mother implanting trauma onto the daughter kind of thing, where you push the narrative of this is what it means to be a woman. This is what my mother. This is the pain my mother put on me, so I'm going to put it on you.
It definitely feels like if this show wasn't about the revenge on my ex show business whole thing.
Right, the very over-the-top drama.
Yeah, the over-the-top drama, with the glitz and the glam and all that stuff. And, that there absolutely would be something that could totally be gotten into as just almost a little show in and of itself. Of where all of this came from.
Right. Because there's a whole other anime that this show basically started well after. Right. And we're probably only going to see it in bits and pieces.
Because the extreme nature of the characters that we need in order to be able to have this extreme kind of show.
True.
in order to have that actually happen in a realistic way, there's a story to that.
Yes.
And the story then has to also probably be pretty extreme.
And be consistent internally.
And be consistent internally, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so if the show wanted to not go into that and just be like, this is how these characters are, and, you know, just a little thing here or there, oh, cool, she just has this skill because tea ceremony or whatever, all right, that's fine. But they
teased it.
But they went more than that.
Right,
it's not
yeah.
just that she learned a skill then. That would have been a believable thing, and oh, hey, it was maybe because of this reason why they taught her and all that stuff, and so it was able to help her out. And maybe that's all they're end up going to take it, but and maybe it was just the seriousness of the scene, but the fact that her instinct is push myself to the point of harm, you know, for this person,
right.
and I learned it there.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Yeah.
To me, I'm gonna soapbox a little bit here. I think that one of the marks of great stories is that you can take the themes of the entire story and boil them down into tiny digestible bits within your scenes that are like your climaxes within like a segment of the story.
Yeah.
So in this scene, the climax of this scene, we saw the entire show basically.
the thesis statement.
More or less. Yeah, exactly. In that moment, she is taking a competitive desire to want to beat this person in this thing for her own reasons here.
Yep.
But in order to get what she wants about this, she has to break herself. She has to, in some ways, push past healthy boundaries into doing something that harms her because she believes like this is what it takes in order for her to have what she wants.
Or phrased another way, because in this situation, right, even if it's to get revenge on show, she is doing this in a way for show. Right. It's for herself, but it's because it's for him in a vindictive way, right?
Right.
And
it's a singular focus.
Yeah, it's a singular focus. And so in that sense, nothing's really changed. And the fact that even the tools that you want to use in order to get your revenge come back from that time where, yeah, he was all you had.
And
or at least you let yourself think that.
Well, other people made her think that.
Right. Now, what makes me excited is that could be a thing where then she's like, okay, I actually need to grow as a person and, you know, like think about me and all of that stuff, right? And that could be something that we then see moving forward.
Well, right. We're seeing that in general, but I think the thing that we're both getting at is that there's a specificity to this that was like there's a specific thing that they're honing in on here that is left open-ended enough that if they want to revisit it, we're more than happy for them to go into the deep, darker nature of the ways in which people are raised entirely for others and have their negative sides of their ego stripped out so that they can be a hollow, like, person, so that, you know, like...
Little wooden soldier going about in society?
Yeah. You're just going to be a happy, dutiful wife that wants for nothing and just give.
Can't feel pain and
you can't feel pain. Oh, is your it's just
right. Like this feels like it could go into some pretty fun commentary.
Oh my God, it's already gone into it.
In a show where the OP is all right, big hammer, and the ED is all right. I'm gonna shadow box it in your poster.
Tonally, it is promising to me because it's showing that we have this anime has the chops to handle both the over-the-top soap opera, very ridiculous, hilarious stuff here. Also her own internal stuff, which gets into this gray, complicated, emotional stuff. But then even deeper beyond just her internal, battles she wages.
Yeah.
But even deeper, her pains and her origins that come from something that I'll just
not altruistic.
I'll just say I think this got me way more invested in the show than anything up to this point.
Yeah.
Even the entire premise, which really got me invested.
Yeah, I'm very curious
I hope I'm
to
not
see
honing in on it too much, and it's just
right, because this could totally just be a thing that was for this episode, and then we're gonna go on to the next job, and things like that, right? And we'll never revisit this again, or we'll visit it in other sprinkles as she basically just realizes, like, gets further and further from the person that she used to be,
which could be really cool.
Yeah,
and that it maybe rears its ugly head every once in a while of like, oh yeah,
no, I like this new person that I am, and then maybe that gives her that new vim and vigor, and maybe even motivation then for show business that's going to help her succeed, and get Ren to be like, all right, yeah, not bad, yeah, you're doing pretty
not
good,
bad, kid. Yeah,
right.
I really love also how Ren played this. You can tell he was trying to antagonize her a little bit, but also was showcasing his true self. We've kind of been hinted at little bit by little that Ren is not actually like a really, perfect, I'm the best guy ever. Like, he's got his own kind of chip on his shoulder. And I feel like this was him almost being like, oh, you want to see who I am? This is me. And then it's just like, oh God,
right,
okay.
Yeah, the
like being not a bully, but like kind of being like a dominating force,
he actually got scary for a second, right? Which ended up being exactly what she needed in order to, have those emotions come up, because that's what she needs to portray in the scene. Right. And by the way, I really liked that they didn't just make it where, oh, she's just able to do that just because no, that's something that is a skill that is very difficult, and you have to develop that and everything.
You don't have the hours of practice actually doing this.
Right, exactly. You would not have been able to make that movie. But, when you are working alongside somebody that's just incredible at what they do, it is fascinating.
Yeah.
How, like, the difference between that
you're elevated
and working with someone that's like at a peer level, where like if you're not that good, and you're working with somebody who's also not that good, it's like, all right, you're trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
But then suddenly it's like you know things that you didn't know before when you're working with someone who knows what they're doing, because they're setting you up. You know?
And the best, I would say, performers in their fields specifically, they actually do elevate those in their environment with intentionality.
Yeah.
And it's not accidental.
No.
I think that's something that is also very fun that the show described from her point of view, because we get so much internal stuff from her. A lot of times that stuff is invisible, and it's viewed more by like the people, like the director equivalent and the people on the crew. We're just like, oh, but because they're also in this field and they've worked with Ren and they've worked with many others, they're like, we can clearly see that he's calling her up and elevating her in this regard. Let's see how far this goes, because she does have to, at the very least, respond somewhat. Like, she could just, flounder and freak out and something like that.
Deer in headlights,
So the ability to kind of stay calm under pressure in that regard is really cool. But I'll just say it. Reason for that is because she came from the service industry and the customer service side of things. And anybody who's worked in the service industry or the customer service side of things and you survived it and weathered it, you found the way to channel a persona.
Yeah.
You found the way to hide in the midst of a smile. Did you not?
Yeah.
Did you not, fellow service workers and customer service people?
Have a great day.
Yeah. I hope that, like, your day's wonderful, and that I never have to think about you again in about 7 seconds. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing.
Fun episode. I'm excited to see what the next thing is that they send her for, because she really knocked this out of the park. Like, this was like
this 90 points.
Like, this is where it goes from it being an experimental thing that, the top dog is like, hey, I've got this new idea that we're going to try out, to like,
I'm a genius.
Yeah, to like, I'm a genius. Oh shit, that worked. And I had no idea that she already knew how to do a tea ceremony and everything, because if she just went up there and floundered, that wouldn't have exactly worked.
They didn't know that scene was going to be the one that would be the issue, right?
No, yeah, but the idea that the person without acting chops was able to then make, granted, idol, not actress.
Right.
You know,
it was once she did the Daikon Rose thing that he was like, I've got it. Like this is something where the president guy is just like, clearly
he's
I will now, and now he's like
he's cooking with something.
He's cooking with
certainly
something.
with regards to those outfits, you know.
Oh my God.
So, you know, of course he has these crazy ideas, but she really did great. And so now maybe like let's see what she next is given, because good job. You impressed them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Ren's now your rival.
Right, like you're now actually on talking terms with Ren and like, you know, his manager and, you know, and things like that, rather than just them being like, oh, yeah, you.
Yeah. I get the vibe that the way that they parted, that Ren and her won't be like immediately spending a lot of time together after this, but I would love to see her in environments with other actors, actresses, and see like how she handles them, not just dudes that she specifically wants to compete with, you know?
Right.
I want to see her with other types of people as well.
In my mind, what happened basically with her dynamic with Ren as a result of this is it went from the, if you talk to me, I'm going to be annoyed but polite, to, oh, you're talking to me. Like you have talk to me privileges. I'm not necessarily going to give you time of day, but like you're not breaching etiquette by doing so.
Right,
you know?
right.
Like,
I won't immediately shun you or disrespect you. I'll just be like, quizzical eyebrow raise. Go on, you know?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah. But all right, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. And also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. So if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.